do now, a gift for you, and any questions. I'd like you to listen carefully during the talk because there's going to be a surprise at the end for 3 lucky ladies. Okay, so a bit about me. I'm a homeschooling mother of 6, wife to 1, maybe 2. No, edit that bit out. I'll be a wife to none in a minute. Author of 6 books. A keynote speaker, coach, trainer. I do raw food workshops, editor of the Naturally You magazine, creator of an event called the Naturally You Day. I am a lover of whole foods, herbs, essential oils, and personal development. But 19 years ago, I was a scared teenager with a painful periods and a scary menstrual condition that I managed to use foods, herbs, and aromatherapy to reverse. And since then, I've worked with hundreds and seen hundreds of women use just foods, natural remedies, and mindset changes in order to reverse the conditions that they've been plagued with. So what are fibroids? And this is going to be brief because we have experts and professionals that are going to go more in depth into what fibroids are. But they're living benign, which means non-cancerous mostly, tumors that form in or around a woman's uterus, varying in size, because you can get them as small as a pin and as big as a pineapple, which can either go completely unnoticed, because I know a lot of women who didn't even realize they had fibroids until they were pregnant and had scans and then it showed up on the scan, or they can result in a whole host of symptoms from abdominal pain and pressure, constipation, pain during sex, heavy menstrual flow, anemia, urinary problems, and more. Now, even though the medical community say that their cause is mostly unknown, they are likely to have a connection with hormone imbalances, and they can definitely be improved by improved diet and lifestyle. Now, the reason why I stress that they are living tumors is because we have complaints in our body and health challenges which are the result of things which are dormant. You know, you have too many toxins that build up in your body that can give you problems. But tumors are living parts of your body, so they need to be fed to stay alive and give you symptoms. There's research that's being done where they are doing things to block the supply of blood to fibroid tumors in order to get rid of them, in order to deprive them of their nutrients so that they can die. So we can do things to deprive them of the foods that are keeping them alive in order to manage them. So when I deal with nutrition, it's not just about what you eat, but it's also about things that you need to stop eating and then the mindset change that needs to come along before you can make any of those changes. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. Right, now can your foods help your fibroids? This is a valid question because most people think your food is just things that you take at 3 times a day and you take them because they taste nice. But your foods can be used medicinally as well. And one of the things that I would encourage people to do is focus on making at least 50% of their diet made up of unprocessed foods that gives your body a solid foundation of nutrients so that you can build upon it. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend everyone makes a 100% lifestyle change unless they feel ready to do so. Oftentimes we'll see other people doing things, we'll see celebrities doing things, our best friends doing something, our husbands doing something, and we want to do exactly what they're doing to get the same results. But everybody's journey is different. What everybody can accomplish, what everybody's ready to accomplish, and what everybody needs to do is going to be different. What is manageable for the vast majority of us, though, is if you imagine every time you have a plate of food, half of it, you can look at that food and you know it's healthy whole food. It's unprocessed, it's a salad, it's vegetables, it's fruits, it's nuts, it's seaweeds, those types of things. We also need to have a respect for our body's natural intelligence. So we've kind of lost the knowledge that our body knows what it's doing. We don't always need to tell our body what to do by giving it this drug and that chemical and those types of things, because your body is always striving towards balancement. Your body is always striving to be in the best energized state. And all we need to do is give your body food, fuel, in order to do its job of growing, repairing, balancing, and renewing itself. Does that make sense? Yeah? Now, I'm talking about holistic nutrition as opposed to symptom management. So symptom management is, I've got a headache, take this herb. I've got a stomach ache, take this seaweed. I've got a skin problem, put some shea butter on it. That's symptom management. That's just managing symptoms. And that can have a benefit once you've got the foundation of nutrition. So you're building upon something as opposed to changing nothing in your life and just symptom managing. So you're still smoking every day, you're still partying like a rock star, you don't drink any water, you only drink Coca-Cola, but then you expect shea butter to get rid of your skin problems. It's not going to happen. You need that foundation of nutrients, and then we can symptom manage, again with natural healthy whole foods on top of that. There's a strong link between fibroids and several nutritional deficiencies, including essential fatty acids, magnesium, and vitamin D. So, and there are other nutritional deficiencies that have been linked to fibroids also, but these are just some of them. So when we're talking about nutrition and fibroids, we're talking about using your diet to prevent the deficiencies that could lead to the tumor's growth in the first place. If you have the tumors already, using nutrition to rebalance the deficiencies that are there and to help to build and repair your body so that the tumors that are there stop growing, because that's the problem that some women have, is that their tumors keep growing. We want to first stop the tumors from growing, then start the process of shrinking them, as well as getting rid of the symptoms of them. And all of those things are possible with your food. So, 9 foods to the rescue. Now, there's a whole host of other foods that you can also include in your life and in your diet to help your fibroids, but these are some of the ones I'm going to be focusing on today. Irish moss and seaweeds. So I'm going to get a show of hands of who eats Irish moss or seaweeds already. Okay, brilliant. So Irish moss, there's a doctor called Dr. Sebi that a lot of us are probably quite familiar with, who talks about Irish moss and sea moss on a regular. Yeah, please do take pictures of the slides. He talks about sea moss and the benefits of it, the fact it's got 102 nutrients in it and minerals and these types of things, and other seaweeds. So we're talking kelp, we're talking nori. All these seaweeds, they're high in iodine, potassium, essential fatty acids, which are all things. So there's a link, there's a correlation between women who have got nutritional deficiencies in essential fatty acids and the nutrients found in Irish moss and the development of fibroids. So if anything you take home today from this talk is that we need to get rid of the nutritional deficiencies and then use the foods to rebuild the body if the fibroids are already there. Bone broth and oily fish, they have similar properties to the Irish moss and the seaweed. One thing about seaweeds, by the way, is that it's been found that plants that grow under the water are able to capture the nutrients from the sun and retain those nutrients better than plants that are grown above the water, which is why seaweeds are considered a superfood. And that's one of the reasons why fish are also quite healthy, because they are eating the seaweed. So the best thing for us to do is to eat the seaweed, and on top of that you can eat oily fish. Obviously the best fish to eat are the ones that are wild. If you can get the organic ones, all the better. Evening primrose oil is one, sorry, back to the bone broth. Does anyone remember mannish water, fish tea? So when our ancestors were looked at as peasants for eating the bones, in actuality, the bones have more nutrients, and the nutrients in the bones of animals are easier for the human body to assimilate than the flesh. If you're going to eat a lot of flesh from animals, you actually need certain amino acids for your body to be able to break those nutrients down properly. But when you boil down the bones of animals in vinegar, the nutrients from those bones are released more easily and they're more bioavailable, so your body can take them in and absorb them more easily. Now, even though the vast majority of people I work with, I would recommend a plant-based diet for them, I would still always recommend you use your food as your medication. So instead of taking supplements, instead of taking medications, you can use your food, and even if that means you do take some animal products, as your medication, because you don't take medication for the rest of your life unless there's a big pharma company that's making a lot of money off you doing so and prescribing that to you. You take medication for a certain amount of time to